Hi everybody, Mark here, and today I'm sitting down with a preview build of an upcoming Steam release called Beatbuddy, Tale of the Guardians. I present this preview by the developers Threaks, and they've given me a chance to sit down and try out the first couple of levels. You can go to the full site to see my full thoughts on the preview, but for today I thought I'd take 10 minutes out just to show you some gameplay. So as you start the game, we start with a little introduction to the world of Symphonia and what's going on. It's not all good times, as the evil Prince Maestro is trying to take over the world, and it's up to the protagonist Beat to get out there and stop him before music is lost forever. And music plays a big part of this game. It's not only has the story been helped along by Rihanna Pratchett of Tomb Raider fame, but also Austin Wintory, who did the music for PS3's Journey, has lent his talents to this game as well. So off we go. So Beat here is about to be woken from his eternal slumber by Melody. So let's see if she just wakes him up, tells him that trouble is afoot. That voice in the background is quite haunting. Okay, and we're off. Right, start moving around. As you can see, it's all underwater based. It's got a cool little animation of him swimming through the water. So let's just head off to the right here and get on with things. This is just the tutorial level at the start. You can't really do much at the moment. It introduces you to the concepts in the game quite slowly as you're progressing through, but enough to keep it fresh as you're playing. So let's have a look. So this is the bad guy, Prince Maestro, complete with fantastical moustache. I like to see a beat bopping along to the music there. Works better when there's decent music playing. And beat points. So there's loads of these beat points scattered throughout the level, and you collect them. There's a certain number per level, and you have to collect them, but some are hidden, as you'll see later. It's a relatively linear game, but you're often encouraged just to slightly explore off the path. But as you can hear, some music is starting. So this is the bass drum, so let's just swim over here. Collect the beat point. I don't think there's anything past it. Nope, no there isn't. Okay, so we need to get through there, but we can't, so let's use the bass drum I should say, sorry. And we smash through the wall. Come up to a checkpoint. Checkpoints are quite generous in this game, which is nice. It keeps you never far from, you don't have to replay lots of sections. So the snare streams. Okay, so this is where the timing element comes into the game, makes it more like a rhythm game of what you've expected to see in Guitar Hero. So as you can see, by using the beat with that snare, I'm able to move through the traps a lot easier. The obstacles, I should say. And if you don't get it right, look, you bash into them like that. I'll try and do it again. I've got too good at the game. Anyway, let's move on. So let's just head through that area there. And you see this, now as I move on, the music sounds like it's in a different room. And that music keeps flowing with the game and in line with what you're doing. So here's the more action side of things. You punch those blocks to get health, and later on obviously you have to punch enemies to survive. Just replenish my health quickly and move on. As you can see, you move around the environment a little bit like games like Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet, but obviously it's got more of a music focus than that. So these things here hurt you like that, and you don't want to, and they can actually kill you in one if you get caught out because there's so many of them. So hit the crab and you can move through, and then they pop back. You haven't got very long. So another checkpoint, and then we move down. Another style of gameplay. It balances between rhythm game and action title here, as I've got to run away from the block coming to squash me. And then you can swim through some areas, but also use the base just to help you bounce around. So let's do that quickly. So here's one of the game's first major puzzles, and as you can see, the different elements we've encountered so far are starting to be blended together in order to create a puzzle. This one's not too difficult, given that we're just in the tutorial still, but like bash the crab, and then quickly make it through, and then move on before we die. Relatively simple, and they do get more complex. I've not come across anything in the first two levels that was particularly mind-bending, but that's not really the point. The flow of the game gets disrupted too much if you were going to be puzzling over things for a long time. But as I say, I've only played the first two levels, so there's a good chance that they get more difficult as we go along. So as you see, the beat helps you get along, and you can tell the sorts of puzzles that you're going to come across as you move through, and the music you hear in the background. So here we see a great example of I mean, this game is beautiful, in my opinion. The hand-drawn art is fantastic. And this is the start of the first level. So as you can see, each level has its own song assigned to it, and this one is the Beatbuddy Swing. So as we're playing through that style of music will pop up from time to time in tempo with what you're doing. So let's just go around and collect a few more of these beat points, and I think down here, yeah, so this is the exploration I was talking about, a slight off the beaten path, but I can unlock a relic to give me more beat points. And these beat points, one of the reasons you want to collect all of them is they will unlock extras from the menu for you to view later. So if we go up here, and as you can see, that it just looks absolutely stunning, this game. I love this part with the crystals. I thought it was beautiful and really starts to give the world a sense of personality, which is nice. So let's just move through here. All the zipping about, I don't know if anyone ever played Echo on the Mega Drive. It reminds me of that. Echo the Dolphin games, they were fun. Right, so move through. Keep going, keep going. As you get a lot of these health things, so mistakes are quite forgiven, because as later on in the game, sometimes you will lose health if you don't time things right and stuff like this, so it's nice that the health's there just to keep things flowing along at a nice pace. Alright, another one of these crabs, and shoot through quickly. And here, listen, I can use that beat to get through the puzzles again. And that's a little indicator, a little trick that you want to use sometimes if you're having trouble with the puzzles. And it's nice as well because it rewards you for hitting notes. It's when it goes wrong, the beat is disrupted, kind of like in the plink plonk of notes in Guitar Hero when you miss them. So that's one of the reminds me of Zelda, that puzzle aligning things differently. So here we go, just move through the traps. And there's a lot of those little subtle puzzles of aligning things, kind of like the early Tomb Raider games. There's another one here. Sort of getting Ocarina of Time flashbacks. And the Temple of Light. But shining things around to say, and now I've got to get the key to go open the door, so I can go down here. I pick up the key. Oh, no, pick up the key. And then we can bring it over to the door and open things up and carry on with the level. So here's the swing music I was talking about. So a couple of these crabs, and you can see it starts to become all about timing. And you've got to have quick reflexes to get through these puzzles sometimes. Just knock him out. Grab another hidden relic down here. Sorry, turn him back on and go up. Okay, right. And escape back out. Oh, now into the thing. Okay, and then more beat points. And we come up to now one of the more complicated puzzles. Alright, just go down here, grab the key. You can tell I've done this before. And get out before I get killed. Those things they're pretty dangerous. They can kill you in 1 or 2 hits. There we go. And here we have one of the first vehicle sections of the game. So often you come across conversations happening like this, or NPCs you might run into, that just give the world a little bit of life and personality as the events are going on around you. They help progress the story in some instances. Sometimes they're just done for humorous effect. Right, let's get into the bubble buggy. And this is more about the beat, and this is where it gets more of a rhythm game. But also a little bit more action oriented. Let's try and get that one. Okay. I'm a bit of a completionist. So as you can see, it's helping guide me that the beat is something I can use to get through the level. And I'll keep that on. Keep going. Yep. Watching the side so as I don't get hurt. Get injured there. And as you can see, the puzzles when you're in the bubble buggy are a little bit more fast paced. Luckily health regenerated, so you can be a little bit more reckless moving around. I mean, it is a bigger device, so... I died. Okay. Quickly get back on track. Just move through here. Ouch. Right, go down again. Right, okay, now we are back on track. But it tends to keep going the beat a bit more, you know, when you're in the vehicle and become more of a rhythm game in those instances. Wrong way, right, let's go up and get that relic. Pull back up. Okay, and then here we go. Right, move around. Okay, and then I'm having to use the beat here to get through the current that's flowing against me. Oh, and then shot forward. Right, and I think this is a good place to end the preview, so thanks for watching.